Well, good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. Welcome to the 30th Annual ECHO International Agriculture Conference. And it's great to see many faces that I've seen before and to welcome the new faces with us. I'm going to set this here. As you know, I always have my coffee. It's important to keep us going, and we will have a coffee break in a little while as well. I want to read something I came across as I was doing some research on other conferences. I was really curious about what international agriculture conferences exist out there to make sure that we're engaged with those and just learning and sharing together, which we all are. That's a key, one of our key values is that everybody has something to share. We believe in the dignity of all. And as I was researching conferences, about 5 results down in Google, this came up. This was from 1993 in October, from Eco Development Notes, issue number 42. Some of you may have actually received that. And this said, an annual agricultural missions conference to be started by ECHO. And the description was this: for several years, we have dreamed of hosting an annual conference that would bring together people from our overseas network to share technical knowledge and experience in community development. Our staff has finally grown to the size that we can handle the logistics of such an endeavor, I hope. There will be a Christian atmosphere, though we trust that those who do not share those beliefs will be comfortable and would want to share the technical side of the work that we have in common. If you don't know, that was penned in 1993 by Dr. Martin Price, who Martin and Bonnie are here with us today. And what a joy and an incredible privilege it is to see the fruits of that 30 years later as we celebrate the 30th conference that ECHO has put on. I want to share a word of encouragement as well. And this goes along very much with what Bill, thank you for sharing this morning with what you had to say. I didn't actually come up with this. I was at the ECHO Asia 8th Biennial International Agriculture Conference 3 weeks ago, and dear friend, Mr. Gladstone Kumar, who is here with us from Asia, gave the devotions there, and he used these words from 1 Corinthians 3, starting in chapter 6, and these say, and this is Paul speaking, I planted the seed, Apollos watered it, but God has been making it grow. So neither the one who plants nor the one who waters is anything, but only God who makes things grow. The one who plants and the one who waters have one purpose, and they will each be rewarded according to their own labor. So we can rejoice together in seeing the seeds that were planted 30 years ago with this first conference and the ways that many people along the way have watered it. But we rejoice that it is God who makes it grow. So where is ECHO at now? It's my joy to share about ECHO. And I want to go back here. There we go. So one of the things I love to say, if you've heard me share this before, it's that we stand on the shoulders of giants. You look back at the history, people like Dr. Price and Bonnie, who penned that 30 years ago with this dream of a conference, and now you're a part of it, and the other regional impact centers are a part of that all over the world. So I like to say we stand on the shoulders of giants, not only the staff and the leaders of ECHO, but you, our network. We work through a network, and you are a part of that. So many of the techniques, strategies, options that ECHO shares and amplifies all over the world are a result of you working on the front lines with smallholder farmers, their families, and their communities. We have a unity in diversity. ECHO is highly contextualized. How many of you have ever visited one of our other regional impact centers before? Go ahead and raise your hands. I'm just curious to see. Couple of you. Well, if you don't know, ECHO Fort Myers, which we are now calling ECHO North America Regional Impact Center, is one of 4 regional impact centers around the world. And why is that? Each of our regional impact centers exists in a unique ecological and cultural context. That's one of the things I love about agriculture, is that agriculture is a really unique blending of the human culture and values and belief systems, along with the ecology that has both shaped those and is also being shaped by those. And so agriculture is completely context dependent. And so ECHO has regional impact centers in order to make sure that the options, the ideas, the strategies are relevant and useful in those unique language, cuisine, food cultures, and ecologies around the world. The one thing, though, that unifies us, and I'm excited to share our newly board-ratified vision, mission, and motivation statement after almost a year of strategic planning, is that we're unified. Even though we have 4 regional impact centers around the world, with more to come, we're unified by our vision. Our vision is that we would see a transformed world that honors God. How do we do that? The thing that is unique about ECHO, we do that specifically by strengthening the capacity of a diverse global network, that's you, to defeat hunger and improve lives through sustainable food and agroecosystem strategies. So again, we work through a network. We work specifically in food and agriculture and agroecosystems, and we work in strategies and options, because we realize that agriculture is so context dependent. There's no one-size-fits-all silver bullet. And the reason we do all this is our motivation statement. So this is new in this strategic plan. Our motivation statement is that as Jesus first loved us, as agents of restoration, we seek to glorify God and love our neighbors. And I'm going to dig a little bit more into this as we move on. So these 3 things are our newly ratified vision, mission, and motivation. Here are the 4 regional impact centers around the world. So we have ECHO Asia, based in Chiang Mai, Thailand, working throughout the Asia region. ECHO East Africa, based in Arusha, Tanzania, working in the Eastern and Southern African region. We have ECHO West Africa, which is based in Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso, working in Francophone in West Africa. And our new ECHO North America Regional Impact Center, which I'll share more about. The reason why I share this is because I want you to know which regional impact center is closest to you in terms of geography and proximity, but also language, culture, and due to the unique agricultural context that you may be working in. Why do we do what we do? Well, one of the reasons, this gets into our motivation, is as followers of Jesus, we want to see God glorified. And so this is from the Joshua Project. These are the unreached people groups in the world right now. So that box right there is the 1040 window. We are impelled by our love for Jesus. We're impelled by what he's done for us, and we're impelled by our love for our neighbors, as well as we want to be good stewards and care for creation. One of the things that's really interesting, which our new strategic plan really builds on, is if you look at green, the green are the reached areas of the world. You see that the global church has shifted south. You see that the global church is located in many areas that are also working in agriculture and sustainable development, and are on the front lines of the need for more sustainable agriculture and community development. One of the other reasons we do what we do is to defeat hunger and improve lives. These stats came out just a few days ago. These are from the State of Food and Agriculture, which was released at the CFS, the Committee on Food Security, which the UN agencies like FAO take part of. These maps show the current status of undernourishment and hunger in the world. And as you can see, hunger still hovers around 800 million people. And just here in the United States alone, we have about 34 million people that would be considered hungry. That's about 10.4% of our population right here in the United States of America. So we do what we do not only because of the gospel impulsion in terms of bringing glory to God and the transformed lives that come through the gospel. We do what we do because we want our lives to matter. As we help to defeat hunger, as we work to improve lives, one person, one farmer, one community at a time. So the task is great. The other reason why we do what we do is because our world's in bad shape. We believe that God is the maker and creator and sustainer of all things, and that as children of God, we also need to be stewards and caretakers of creation. We hit 3 of the hottest days ever recorded back in July. What else is happening? Ecosystems are collapsing around the world and are expected to continue to collapse more quickly and more violently than was originally thought. A lot of you are in areas that are facing incredible degradation. You're facing droughts and heat waves and massive erosion and loss of topsoil. So ecosystems are collapsing. And not only does that should touch us deeply as those called by God to care for and keep his creation, but also because our neighbors, those people all around the world, our brothers and sisters in Christ, as well as our neighbors that don't know him, are impacted directly by these things that are happening around the world, that are driven mainly by human history and actions. Another thing is that humans, we've crossed 6 out of 9 planetary boundaries, and this just came out a little bit ago. And basically it shows that if you look at where scientists, global scientists, apolitical global scientists, would put planetary boundaries in terms of where the thresholds beyond which it's unsustainable in time, we've crossed about 9 of those planetary boundaries. So these impel us together. It's the growth of the church, taking the gospel, but also defeating hunger, improving lives, and caring for the creation as stewards, as God calls us to abad and shamar, to care for and keep the creation. So, what does ECHO do to help in this big picture work? So this is the what. What is ECHO? In the simplest nutshell, I would say that ECHO is a Christian technical networking and resourcing organization. We work through an incredible network of which you are a small part of. We also resource people. If I was to explain, to take a 5-second elevator speech and turn it into a 20 elevator speech, I would say we build a global network. We serve that network with joy by sharing validated, contextualized agricultural options with technical excellence for the glory of God. Again, some key words there. One is joy. We work behind the scenes. It's our goal, it's our joy to see you successful as you work on the front lines. We're not a mission sending agency. We're not a community development agency. We're not a funder or a big grant provider. We work, it's our joy to serve those who are on the front lines, making a difference in those things I just shared about earlier. Why? To see God glorified. We want to do it with technical excellence. So it's our joy. When you win, it's our great joy. And when you win is when the smallholder farmers you're working with, the communities that they're a part of, when the churches that many of you are linked up with are growing, and they move from surviving to thriving, which actually was the theme of our conference at Echo Asia just 3 weeks ago. In the past, and I love this still, so this is a shout out to Dr. Price and his lovely wife Bonnie, using science to bless the poor. We do everything with technical excellence. We want to use science in order to bless the poor all around the world. So what's our hunger and poverty alleviation approach? We network practical innovations, options, strategies. And whom do we serve? We have a network. If you're on echocommunity.org, you're linked up with about 19,000 other organizations and individuals all around the world who are not only accessing resources from ECHO, but who are linked and encouraging and sharing ideas and information and struggles and successes with one another. So you join a global network of about 19,000, and this is a diverse network. Many of you are represented here. We have international relief and development organizations, national NGOs, local NGOs, grassroots NGOs are part of ECHO. We also have agricultural missionaries and frontline ag workers. We work and partner with academic institutions all over the world, here in the United States as well as across the world. These also include multilaterals like the Food and Agriculture Organization and IFAD, the International Fund for Agriculture Development. We work increasingly with churches. Increasingly, our network is being composed of national or local, national, and regional churches and church leaders. Why? Because many churches across the world are bivocational. Many pastors are pastor farmers. Many churches are farmers. And many of their communities in which they are loving, working, and sharing the gospel with are farmers as well. We work, when it makes sense, with local governments also, and with farmers and farmers organizations and cooperatives. Here's a screenshot of the survey from last year's conference. You can see the tremendous diversity that was represented in this room a year ago, and I'm sure this year's conference would look somewhat similar to this. So theoretically, if we had to share, how do we actually achieve our mission? How is it that we work? So we've created a diagram, and notice that everything we do is within the network. So that's what the circle represents. What we're doing is, I'm going to go backwards here. I'm going to just show them all to you. We're going to start with identification right there. So one of the first things we do is identification. Remember, we're looking for strategies. We're looking for options that work in particular cultural and ecological contexts. So what are some examples? Here's an example of an option right here. This is chaya. This is the incredible, I'm not going to pick it because it's beautiful. Thank you, Lauren and propagation team, for that. But I was going to hold one up, as I like to do. But anyway, that's a great example. This is an option. This is a strategy, chaya. This was identified back in 1987, if my math doesn't fail me, by a network member, Dr. Tom Post, in Belize, who saw the usefulness of this neglected and underutilized species. So that was the identification. Echo, we're interested to know what works in your context. What have you tried that also fails, whether it's seeds, it's the system of rice intensification, the sloping agricultural land technology, chaya, moringa, on and on and on. We want to hear from you so that we can then validate that option. So validation is just simply testing it. We want to know in which cases does this particular option, like chaya, make sense. Chaya has been an incredible success story. Why? Because many cultures are used to eating leafy greens, many of which, like cassava, are very similar to chaya in that they contain cyanide. So you have to boil cassava leaves, just like chaya, before you can eat them. And so that's an example of validation. So we test those options, or our network partners test those options. The next step in the core functions is dissemination. That's simply sharing. When you come to a conference, you're taking part in dissemination. You're sharing with others. Echo's learning, we're identifying. We're sharing through many different formats and techniques as well. And then the last step in there is evaluation. We want to do this better. We want to be able to actually measure the impacts that these options are having. So notice everything happens through the network. It all happens within the network, and that's what those arrows are always. So it's this beautiful, messy process that's happening. But that's how ECHO works. You can think of us as doing those core functions within our network. All right, so what are some of the strategies and options in which we've worked in the past? And you're gonna come across almost all of these in the next 3 days. Sustainable agriculture, it's been our bread and butter. Community development, water and sanitation, urban and community gardening, which is increasingly so important because half of the world's population and growing live in cities. Alternative and renewable energy. Anytime you start working in agriculture, you quickly realize food, water, and energy, there's trade-offs between all three of those, and we need to try to optimize those while minimizing those trade-offs. We work in appropriate technologies. We work in participatory approaches, seed saving and seed banking, creation care and the environment, and then also niche value addition, such as coffee and cocoa. Again, this is our global network. So in Echo Asia, they do a lot in coffee as a niche value-added product, which improves livelihoods and environmental sustainability significantly. So how can you connect? How can you be a part of that process of refinement, of identification, validation, dissemination, and evaluation? The first thing is through echocommunity.org. If you're not a member, please sign up for it. It is the best way to stay abreast of events. It's the best way to stay abreast of new ideas and strategies and options being shared. It's a way to be connected to other network members. And the mobile app is phenomenal. The other great thing about Echo Community is that it translates into about 17 or so different languages. So if you're working in French, Eco-community translates into French, Spanish, Thai, and others. So eco-community. Another way is we connect through events, whether it's Urbana. So I had the privilege of going to Urbana with some of our interns and staff last year. Met George Verwer before he passed away. I actually met him before, but had a chance to meet him again before he passed. The Accord Network. We network. We're a technical networking and resourcing organization. So I'm always curious to know what networks we should be a part of. So please let me know. That's a big part of my job, is making sure that ECHO is not a best-kept secret. We also publish, and so ECHO development notes, like the one I read from October of 1993, are one of our hallmark publications. They come out every quarter, and we oftentimes will make a compilation of the themes of ECHO development articles. And so we publish those as best practices notes. So multiple articles will be published together as a best practice notes. You can find all of these on ecocommunity.org. There's 40 plus years of information, so it's chocked full of ideas and information. We also create research publications and research notes. We also peer review and do peer-reviewed publications. We also translate and have locally and regionally relevant publications. So here's an example of our ECHO East Africa notes, and we have other notes published in many different languages. So if you're working in languages besides English, please get on ECHO Community and see if your languages have been published. We're also always looking for translators into other languages. So if you are a technical translator, if you know of technical translators, we use professional technical translators to help us get our information and ideas into the hands of a greater audience. We also have print publications. It turns out print publications are still incredibly useful all around the world. I was in Asia for 9 years, and here's an example of some of the print publications. And an important thing is that not only is ECHO writing and editing and publishing our own publications, but we're always on the lookout for useful publications that were written or published by our network members. There's one of our great joys is to save Kingdom resources. So if you have a book that's useful, let us know. We'd love to be able to help you disseminate it and amplify it. For instance, one of our speakers, here's a shout out to Keith Mickelson. We've been sharing his sustainable agriculture book now for, I don't want to say a decade, but probably pretty close to that. We also work through media. So increasingly, we're working through the media of the people. That is through things like YouTube. We haven't gone to TikTok or even shorter videos yet, but we do have quite a few videos on YouTube in different languages. We also provide assistance accessing needed technical resources, and this is especially pertinent to our regional impact centers. This was an example from ECHO Asia. There were partners who were looking for conoweeders for their systems of rice intensification. Because we were in the region, we had seen a great example of a conoweeder in Northeast India. And we actually helped to procure and produce conoweeders that were then sold at the ECHO Asia Regional Impact Center. We also provide consultations. So providing formal and informal consultations. Each of our Regional Impact Center in a given month will probably host about 30 different people, either drop-ins to the office or scheduled consultations where ECHO members come by. Maybe they're in town for a conference and they come by, they share about their context, their challenges, their successes, and also maybe how ECHO can help them better. So it's all about relationships, right? Especially when you're in a network. We also have seed banks. So some of you will actually go to one of the breakout sessions in the afternoons at the ECHO Global Seed Bank. Besides the ECHO Global Seed Bank, which has been part of ECHO for the last 40 years, ECHO Asia also has a 14-year-old seed bank. ECHO East Africa has a seed bank, and ECHO West Africa is in the process of building their seed banks. So seed banks and the associated research about seed saving best practices has been a hallmark of ECHO since our inception. What else do we do? We have small farm resource centers. Every regional impact center is a small farm resource center, and you're going to go out to our Echo North America Small Farm Resource Center in the afternoon. These serve as demonstration, research, and training hubs. So living, learning laboratories where we get to identify, validate, disseminate, and evaluate different options. We've done quite a bit of research, and you'll find our research not only on ecocommunity.org, but also on Google Scholar and other research aggregators. We also provide technical responses. So if you have a particular question or need an answer to something, you can reach out to your regional impact center and ask for help. And we will provide curated responses and options and strategies in response. And across our regional impact centers, they're answering up to 30 of these every single month. So that is one of our joys, is to provide curated information and starting places. Other eco services. Many of our other regional impact centers operate through different social media channels. They also do radio in East Africa, and they often are in contact through telephone. So the old-fashioned telephone call and radio still has tremendous value and helps amplify eco services in many parts of the world. We have internships and volunteer opportunities available. We have missionaries in residence opportunities available right here on our Echo North America campus. So one of our formal intern programs happens right here in North America. We have 10 interns every year, 8 interns every year, and that's with Dallas International University. So if you're interested, please talk to David, who is our intern manager. We also, again, provide global training and equipping and education through our regional impact centers. I want to introduce our new North America Impact Center, just so you are all aware. Our North America Impact Center is a reimagined and repurposed technical team and campus in Echo, Florida. We have a new director of that. I'm going to ask her to stand. Dr. Grace Jew Miller is our new director. Let's give her a round of applause. Dr. Miller is a former ECHO staff member and former ECHO board member, so she loves and knows ECHO incredibly well. She is a peer with her other directors at the regional impact centers. So this regional impact center here in North America has really, its purpose is to provide those core functions contextualized to the needs of the audience. And who is the audience of North America? Basically, it's English speakers and North Americans, those currently working internationally but without access to another ECHO impact center. So this would be missionaries based here in the United States, different NGOs, their leaders, the leadership of NGOs and missions agencies, or like you, different workers in the field who it makes sense to come and network in English here in North America. So that's the first audience. The second one is those workers who are those who are aspirational to work internationally. Would be an example. These would be college students. These would be missionary candidates as well. These would be NGO workers who maybe aren't on the field yet. So that'd be the second audience of this North America Regional Impact Center. And the third audience, based on some of those stats that I shared, the 34 million Americans, it would be those domestic partners, so organizations and individuals working in an English-speaking context who are fighting in the defeat of hunger with us. So those are the three primary audiences of the North America Regional Impact Center. I'm super excited to have Dr. Miller and her incredible team join us and to reimagine and repurpose our technical campus in order to better serve many of you as well as our global network with ECHO. I just want to share just some upcoming opportunities. So I'd be remiss if I didn't share upcoming opportunities. And apologies that I've gone over time. One of the things that we have happening at ECHO Asia in February is a Faith in Farming conference. So LEAD, which is the Language Education and Development Community of Practice, is having a week-long training event called Faith in Farming at the Eco Asia Regional Impact Center in Chiang Mai. We have tropical agriculture development courses happening here on January 8th at North America, and then Eco Asia is also doing a tropical ag development course February 24th. Additionally, in February, for the first time, we are hosting in South Sudan, along with Tier Fund, a joint symposium on best practices in sustainable agriculture and appropriate technologies in South Sudan. So please help to get the word out. Maybe many of you will join us for those. Please also share in your networks the upcoming events that ECHO is doing around the world. It's our joy to make you more effective, to serve you, to come alongside, to partner with you so that you're more effective. And just some pictures from our centers. I'll end with this one. I'll end with our take-home message. This is our incredible group of directors from around the world. This was at our strategic planning meeting, which we had in East Africa back in August. So please get connected. If you're not connected with a regional impact center that is in your language group, that's in your geographical context, please do so. We have a team of about 85 incredible staff all around the world that exists. It's our great joy to serve you, to come alongside you, and to see you be effective as you bless the poor, as you work alongside smallholder farmers, their families, and their communities. What's the take-home message? One, get connected to over 18,500 other like-minded members serving all around the world. Please help spread the word about ECHO. Everywhere I go, I shouldn't say everywhere, many places I go, and it saddens me. Many places I go, I hear that ECHO is one of the best kept secrets. Please help ECHO not to be the best kept secret anymore. That's one of my big jobs. That's why I'm so interested in networking and learning together with you. And it's our joy to see you succeed. So we like to be in the background. We like to convene. We like to serve. And it's our joy to see you succeed. And more importantly, to see those that you're working with move from surviving to thriving. Get connected to your RIC, like I said before. That's so important, language-wise, culturally, and contextually, to make sure that you are in contact with the right people, the right language, and the right options there for you. Please sign up for ECHO development notes if you haven't done so. They're incredible. And if you would like to be in touch with me, I'll be around the next 3 days, but you can also reach out at ceo@echonet.org. So thank you so much. I'm so glad that you're here. I look forward to learning and being a part of this with you. So thank you. Over to you, David.